If we are to evolve as a species and survive the years to come, we need to radically rebuild the education system. Just let me explain why and how. Education is one of the most important pillars of society. It's how we pass down knowledge, values, norms, culture. It's like this now, and it's like that since we used to be hunter-gatherers in tribes. Education is what prepares the next generation for the world that they're going to face. It's how societies pass down identity and ensure their own survival. Without education, there is no society. And today we have an education system, something that everyone goes through, everyone is shaped by, and that itself is a pretty impressive feat of humanity, and we have to recognise it. But what does this system actually teach us? The system that we currently rely on was designed during the Industrial Revolution, with the sole purpose of producing obedient factory workers. That was 200 years ago, and we're suffering the consequences now of training our population as if they're going to work in factories in the age of collapse that we're in. Seriously, every single issue you can pick out about the state of the world today is sharpened and deepened by the fact that the people aren't prepared for the world they're about to enter. Okay, just to name a few. Economic divide. People aren't trained in the mechanics of capitalism, money, marketing, hard work, or anything of the sorts. And what happens is you get a population full of people that are overwhelmed by the complexity of economics, who then get taken advantage of by the people who do understand it. Another one I could mention is the crisis of identity. People aren't trained in understanding themselves, their preferences, their biases, their delusions, their emotions, their relationships, anything that surrounds them and their world. And this results in a massively confused society that suffers because they don't understand themselves and the complexity of what they're in. And in a world that preaches democracy and freedom, the people should at least know how to govern themselves. I cannot stress this enough. If we do not transform education, humanity will not evolve. We will move closer and closer to collapse. And once artificial intelligence, climate collapse, and nuclear war have passed the threshold, extinction follows. So, now that we're here, how do we change this system and what do we change it to? Well, so, Finalism understands the importance of education, sovereignty, and evolution, whether that's personal or civilizational. The goal of education must be to cultivate the full human being. Every student must be trained to pursue their final form through the medium of truth. In a future curriculum, there would be a philosophical core, so logic, rhetoric, philosophy, psychology. It would demand radical self-knowledge, artistic exploration, basically just the full understanding of who you are. Cooperation and relationships would be a massive part of this because, humans being of a social nature, that's how we survived and that's how we dominate the earth. So cooperation would be massively important. And one recent thing that is particular would be technology. Children must be taught how to master AI, not be mastered by it. We are already seeing the issues of people relying on AI to make their essays where they can't even think for themselves anymore. If we allow that to happen, it will just multiply and it will be its own crisis. So students must be taught how to use AI to sharpen thinking, not to replace it. These are just a couple of things that would go in the curriculum. And it would never be final. It would improve upon any new information that is valuable. What I'm demanding and what is necessary for our evolution is that our entire perspective on education change, culturally, morally. There must be a philosophy that's kind of implemented within culture of how we see education, where a society is only as good as its people. The goal of education in this society would be to produce people that evolve society as a whole. A society that is able to understand complexity because it was trained for it beforehand. A society that is aware of their... Sorry, my dog is just over there doing something with the bed, flipping it over and stuff. She's 14 years old, I don't know if she's still doing it. Alright, back in. A society that is trained in spotting corruption, that isn't satisfied with the outcomes of their political system. A society that is trained in seeing the lies of the media, the polarization. If we let our population go untrained, we collapse, and as I mentioned before, just go extinct. This video isn't just me complaining or whatever. I'm asking you to get angry, to start demanding change. If we don't evolve our youth, we don't evolve as a species. And it's up to us, it's our mission to make the change that the ones before us didn't. This isn't just a video, this is a movement, and your support is absolutely necessary. The world won't evolve on its own, and it's up to us to direct and guide it correctly, with philosophy, with reason, and with truth. Thank you.